Hey y'all, quick video today. I got in my track battle packs, as I like to call them. So I'm gonna see how far this gets me so I can figure out how much more I need to actually order. Maybe get some of this ballast and placed in for good. So let's go ahead and jump on over into that. So just pop this open. And obviously these have been out for a really long time. Does it even tell me? 2018. So these have been out for a really long time. You can tell by the kind of dated city box art. And in them is 8 of these flex track pieces, 8 of the straights, and 4 of the curves. Now, here's where my complaint is. When you get one of the bigger sets, you get a whole bunch of corners or turn pieces. And to be honest, when you're doing a layout, this is probably the least thing that you need. So I really wish that they sold just straight track. Actually, I really wish they just sold these in individual components. Like, just sell me a pack of 4 track, or sell me a pack of 4 curves, or sell me a pack of 4 or 8 of these flexi pieces. Because each of these flexi pieces, you know, you put 4 of them together to make one straight track, or one curved track, whatever the case might be. But I don't know why they don't sell these as discrete components. So that's kind of annoying to me. And also, interestingly enough, so this is the only thing that's in that box, right? There's no bags, there's no nothing. It's just these tracks stacked together with this stupid little pin that's really hard to kind of get out. I always feel like I'm going to break stuff when I pull it out. But interestingly enough, in this is their little notice about switching to paper bags. And so I thought that was interesting that they're including this in something that has 0 plastic bags in it. So that was interesting. That's the first time I've actually seen one of these in person. Yeah, so I bought this mostly for the straight and for the flexi track. I could care less about the curves. I have plenty of curves. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, you can just go order it off Bricklink. Yeah, I could, but I got points by doing it this way. And I would much rather be getting points for things that I need than spending about the same amount of money on Bricklink. So that's just my 2 cents on the city train packs, or track packs, I should say, or track battle packs is actually what I call them. All right, let me get the other box open, and we will drop these in the city and see how short I am. And I don't mean height. These 2 bags of dark bluish gray are definitely my friend whenever I'm doing ballasting. I bought these from Lord Business off of Whatnot. If you're not following Lord Business or know of Lord Business, you're missing out. Because these are some of the best deals ever. But I bought these packs of just dark bluish gray 1x and 2x, and they have been amazing for doing ballasting. I mean, I literally just grab my bag and just work out of it until I get to it. I also have this drawer of light bluish gray and dark bluish gray mixed together for, again, all of my ballasting and other type of gray needs. Just the city has a lot of gray. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ballast some stuff before I stick it in the city, and then we can go from there. We got this whole thing connected together. I got it mostly ballasted. I ran out of 1x's back here. I'm starting to run out of parts for ballasting. Ballasting just takes up so many parts. I also got my switches in. I did those from Bricklink. They showed up the other day, and so I got that in. I mean, the switches alone take like 200 parts just to ballast. Actually, it might even be more than that. And then not to mention all the curves and all the pieces that go into the curves, and it just takes so many parts. It's so parts intensive. And even like the finishing, you know, for just a half section of track, you know, you got 8 1x4s and you got 16 1x1s, and that, you know, when you start to think about how many pieces of track are in all of this, it starts to get a whole lot. So anyways, this is all the way connected all the way through. And let's go down to the other side and maybe at least make the connections if I got enough track and figure out how short I am. But at least this area is looking good and getting finished up real quickly. I did make one ballasting error. I don't know if you caught that yet or not. Let me know if you did catch that before I said anything. But I'm not fixing that because the amount of work that it would take to fix that is incredible, because I can't flip the switch part of the ballasting. And so I had to flip everything else along here, which includes taking the curves apart and flipping the underneath piece. so that it would line up in the proper place. So I'm not going to bother with that. You're not going to notice that. In fact, I might even move this over one, and you really won't notice it because of just kind of the mess that the switch makes, because of you can't have any ties in the middle here. So I might actually do that just to move that over, just to make that a little bit more or less noticeable. And I did not ballast too far into the tunnels, again, because you're not going to see it, you know? You're not going to see it. But all of this is ballasted, and so we're getting there on this section. And this section's ready to start to have some other details put in here. Get the treehouse put in here. The A-frame is on its way, so it will go in here. But the treehouse is probably next, so I can start to carve out that little creek, little river that runs alongside the treehouse, and we'll kind of split the treehouse from the A-frame. And that will also actually gain me a little bit of parts back, because I'm going to make a little bridge or something just to kind of go over. Yeah, so that's what's next for this area, but we're still on ballasting, so let's keep talking about ballasting and tracks and all the train stuff. Before I start to lay this all out, another problem I'm running into, not problem, but just I'm running out of plates. I'm running out of mills plates to plate the top sides of stuff. And so that's also very quickly becoming an issue. I'm literally trying to save plates wherever. Like when I flip the switch track, I'm going to actually put some gray base plates under here just to save some green base plates for use somewhere else that's a little more useful. So that's really becoming an issue and a problem, because I can't just go ahead and just ballast everything, because I don't have the green plate that goes around the ballast, and it's just kind of a snowball effect. So I will slowly rectify that issue. But for right now, I just want to get stuff laid out so I can figure out kind of where my track lies and what pieces I need to order yet. Since I forgot to show this before I put the other switch in, this is what the underside of a switch looks like. And in fact, I've actually pulled already some pieces off. But this is the full switch, so you can see there's just tons of parts. And I actually cheated on this because if you remember, this was up against the mountain, so I didn't really care too much what this side looked like. I just needed to make sure I had my plates all in the right place. And so this is actually a smaller, easier, simplified version of what actually goes into making the switch track, and it's just a lot of pieces. I'm going to rip this out because I'm flipping the direction on this, but I just wanted to show you this before I got too far into it. So on the other end, I made this adapter plate to condense in the middle to make the run down through the tunnel a little bit narrower and a little bit easier to navigate down through. And so on the other end, I did a piece of straight track and then a piece of flexi track, mostly because that was the amount of flexi track that I had. This is the flexi track from the 2 packs that I just got, and I think I'm going to do this. So I still have the adaptation from what is the narrower side to the standard size, but what I've done is I've made it all flexi track, so there's a little bit of give in here, so it's a little bit more of a natural turn rather than the other side looks like that essentially, right? Because it's straight and then it's got the little curve. So I'm hoping that maybe this will make a little bit less of train derails. Flexi track can be a little dangerous because it sometimes likes to cause derails just because of the flexible nature of it. So I think that's going to be okay. Now my next concern is that there are pillars here and a pillar over there, and that's just way too close. So I'm going to need to redo both those pillars, probably not using Duplo or Quattro. I'm probably going to have to use supports and build it up so it's only 2 studs wide rather than 4 studs wide, which is fine. Just, another part of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that and get it placed in there, and we'll see what it looks like. I do have to say, I built this much sturdier than I probably would have just a couple months ago. And mostly that's just because of moving stuff. I found that whenever you start to move stuff, if it's not sturdy, just all kinds of falls apart. So that's why I connected both of the towers together with that middle support. I don't know if I really needed the middle support, but just connecting the whole thing together, I felt like the right idea. This is connected all the way through to the other end. You can see the kind of narrow in the middle, and then re-widen into the top, or re-widen into the normal outside. Take a look at this side. You can see the kind of difference in track jump there. And I will definitely be probably changing this side over to that if I ever run into some issues. like I said, whenever you start to deal with FlexiTrack likes to jump trains. And so we'll see how that handles in the longer run. But for right now, it's going to work. And yeah, I'm going to get the tops back on here and continue on. I think I got 8 more pieces left, which is not going to get me anywhere near what I need to do. But anyways, all right, let me get the tops on and lay out the rest of the track. Okay, after a little bit of wrangling, I think I have a plan figured out. I do, and I'm hesitant to do this, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to order a handful. I am like 2 studs short, which is like half of a piece of flexi. Let me grab a piece of flexi. It's like, oh, sorry, that's not a good view. It's like just over half of a piece of flexi. And there is a third-party rail company. I don't remember. Maybe I'm not even gonna say because I don't remember. But there is a third-party rail company that makes a little piece like that. And so I'm probably just gonna order a couple of those and probably a couple of the different kind of oddball sizes like that, just to kind of help this out, because this is a very kind of odd situation that I don't think Lego Track was really designed to do per se. And this is to accommodate brick cross station right here on the front side. The old shed, the old train shed, which should be shipping real soon, right there. And then this will just pass straight on through. And so this is all the track I got right now. So that's a problem. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this track out and go ahead and stick it back there so I can continue working back there. Because brick cross is not going to be here for a long time. And so I will connect this at some point. But knowing that this kind of area will be filler for a little bit until brick cross gets here. But I did have to make one modification. This side no longer moves over. It's just a straight through. And so that's just to accommodate the switch, because I got to build some tunnels around this. And the tunnels and the clearance and everything just made it really tight if it was over, if it was over against there. And so I needed to change that. Also, once the old train shed gets here, I may look at what it looks like to move this. I don't know what's to about there, and then do the old train shed. I think I heard the old train shed was 2 full base plates. And so that would bring it out to here, which is really kind of close to that. But I'm just going to do the straight facade wall here. And so maybe that's not a problem. But that's a decision I'm going to wait until I actually have it in hand here. And so I think my plan of attack will be to assume that I'm going to use this tighter position when I build my tunnels. And then if I don't, I just have a little more swinging room back there, which I don't think is a bad thing either. So the other thing I could do is I could maybe just do it like a half base plate like that. You know, I work on all kinds of different sizes. I would just need a couple of FlexiTrack to get me to that length. And that's certainly an option as well, because I am going to have to be able to reach back here to flip this switch. But I am going to keep this tunnel pretty tight here. And much like the other end, it's going to be a pretty tight tunnel, or shallow tunnel. It's not going to be very wide, so that I can kind of keep as much room for all the other things as well. And it also helps me if I get back here a little bit, because then the nose clears the tunnel before it tries to swing. If I get on out here, I'm going to be in all kinds of trouble, because I got to make sure I clear the noses of the trains before they come around, or going the other way. You know, it's got to make sure it clears. So I'm thinking if I keep it pretty tight, I might have a little bit less of that problem. So anyways, okay, I have a plan. I need lots more parts, which is great, I guess. I'm short 2, 4, 6, 8 straights right there. And I'm short maybe one more, so maybe 9. And that's just assuming this all goes how this is planned. Like I said, I need to order some of those random sizes. I think that I'm at a point where having that kind of odds and ends is probably good to have. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to get as much of this ballasted as possible. I'm running low on these 2x3 wedge pieces. And so I might need to order some more of those to finish that out. And there's all kinds of other just random ballasty parts that I'm running out of. I'm actually running out of 1x1 plate in dark bluish gray. So it's crazy how much some of this eats up. I also need to order the switch things because I ordered these from Bricklink. That's technically a separate piece, and the seller did not have any of those in his store. And so I'm going to need to order that. I'm also going to look at, since I'm going to be ordering some of the customized stuff, I know that there is a way to automate or do mechanical, or not mechanical, but computerized, motorized switches. And I think that would be super useful for places like this and even down there. So that's kind of where we're at with Train Track. I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on this. And we're going to keep plugging away at this stuff as parts come in. As parts slowly come in, I can keep working on stuff until I run out of parts again, then have to start over. So yeah, so thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can follow along. Thanks.